Okay, welcome back guys to part 3 of this forum software tutorial in Laravel. Today we are going to actually start with our application. We are going to define some routes and I'm going to see how far I can get with creating a user. So the first thing you want to do is go to your app folder and then routes. This is where you define all your routes of your application. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit. However, no, I'm going to leave this here for the sake of example. But I'm going to create a new route, and the way you do that is exactly the same as above. You do route, and then colon, and then get, because it's going to be a get route, so basically they're going to get a page. You can also post to a route, and that means that you are going to give some data to that page. So what are we going to do? Which route are we going to create? We are going to create a /user/create route, and the controller we are going to use for that is yet to be created, but we're using the user controller at create. So yeah, this controller still has to be made. And in this controller class of user controller, we're going to have a method called create, which will actually, I'm going to call it get create, because this is the get part of that route, and we are using the same route to post the data to. So I'm going to create another route here for /user/login, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. And we are going to user controller at get login for that. Cancel. Remember to put the semicolon at the end of this declaration. Now let's create this file. So we are going to go to our controllers folder, right click and create a new file, and I'm going to save that as user controller.php. Now open the PHP tags and type class user controller extends base controller. Now every class that is a controller has to extend base controller, otherwise this will not work. So yeah. Now let's create these two methods, get create and get login. So public function get create. And let me just put some comments on top of here. Gets the view for the register page. And we're going to have another function, public function get login, which will get the view for the login page. Now, since these are functions, or these are areas of your application, or these routes are areas of your application that you don't want to get to when you're logged in, because that's no use, I'm going to add a group around this, so route group, and this is basically to group all the routes which have the same property. Now I'm going to add an array here with the condition, and this is going to be before guest, and a callback function like so, and then get these and paste them in here and indent. So what this means is that these two routes will only be accessible when you're a guest user. This is also why I like Laravel, because it comes with this user-based system partially created for you, so you can very easily test. Now this is called a filter, and the filters are defined here in filters.php. And as you can see here, route filter guest, it will just check if somebody's logged in, and if so, then it will return a redirect to the home page. So yeah, you can also write your own filters, of course, and advanced users would probably do that. I do it as well because it's really easy to just strip off a little bit of functionality and leave this file as simple as possible. Now that's handled, so let's have a look at making views, because these functions obviously need to return something so the user can view the page. Laravel comes with a pretty cool templating engine called Blade, and it's really simple to use. Now, Blade allows you to create layouts and extend layouts, use different sections in different files. So it's really simple to use and will keep your project very slick. This home page, I think I will get rid of, or at least I think I will. No, I'll keep it, but I'll empty everything out of here. So I don't need this style tag because I don't need it, and this div class welcome can go as well. And in here, I'm just going to do something simple, the home page. So this is nothing fancy. However, one thing I do want to do is, because I really don't like watching pages that don't have a little bit of styling, so I'm going to download something called Bootstrap, and that will be found at this URL, getbootstrap.com. Put a link to it in the description of this video. And Bootstrap is a CSS framework, and CSS is basically what makes your web page look as it does. And it comes with a lot of predefined classes and basically styles that you can use pre-made. Now, of course, you can also customize this, but I'm just going to use it for a little bit of styling on this page. So how do we use it? We go to Getting Started, and you can download Bootstrap, but I'm going to use the CDN because that's just the easiest for right now. Of course, you might want to download this in a production environment. However, for now, that doesn't really matter. So I'm going to add that on top of here for the Bootstrap style sheet. And I'm going to add the Bootstrap JavaScript because we might need that later in our project as well. Now, looking at this file, I can already tell you that this, for example, is going to be used everywhere, and we're going to use this, and this head tag will probably be the same in every file, and this script tag needs to be included in every file. So it's basically very inefficient to do that over and over and over again. So this is where Blade templating comes in very well. I'm going to create a new folder inside my views folder, and I'm going to call it layouts. And inside this layouts folder, I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it master.blade.php. Now, every Blade file has to end with the extension .blade.php. And this master file is going to be the backbone of every file. So every file is going to extend this layout. So to strip this, I'm just going to copy everything and paste. And the only thing that is going to be changed in this file ever is this over here, the home page, that text. So I'm going to create something called a section for that, and I will do it like this: yield and then the name. So I'm just going to call it content. This means that whenever something is extended, and it will look for the section content inside that, then what's inside the section content will be rendered over here. Now don't mind this. This is just Sublime text wrapping of line wrapping, so that I don't have to scroll sideways like this. This is actually one line, as you can see here. There's no line number here. So We can close out of master because, well, we don't really need it from now on. What I do want to do, and this is also just to get you familiar with the Blade templating engine again, is I am going to add a section here, and I'm going to explain this in a bit, and I'm going to call it head. And down here I'm going to do an add show. Now what this does is that this will show in the HTML file by default. However, when you reference the section head in another file and you do add parent inside, it will extend this section, so you can add your own content to this section if that is necessary. And what I'm going to use it for is the title of the page, because we don't want every page to say, I can close out of this now, Laravel PHP framework. That title is that title is for the default page, and I don't need it. So what am I going to? I'm going to delete that from here. I'm going to close out of this, and I'm going to right-click and rename to hello.blade.php, and close out of hello.php and open hello.blade.php. Delete this, and I'm going to extends layouts.master. So this means in the layouts folder, the master file, so to say. So master.blade.php inside the layouts folder. That's how you do it. You always start from the root of the views folder, so to say. And now I'm going to do an add section head and end that section, and then do add parent, and then append the title to it. Title home page. So yeah, as you see, this is the section head that I also created here, the section head, and I'm just going to append a title tag to it so that the title changes on the home page. So now one thing I will change in the routes file is route this home route. I'm going to change the way that's done. I'm going to go to home controller, which already exists at hello, I believe the method is called controllers home controller. Oh, show welcome. Oh, I'll just rename it to hello. And I'm going to return the view I'm going to return the view hello, which is this view over here. Now, if you were to return a view inside a specific folder, you would do folder name dot and then the file. So that also allows you to use a specific file structure. Now, to check if this works, I am going to, well, first of all, close out of these two, and then go to user controller, and I'm just going to return a simple string. Return register page, and return login page. And don't forget the semicolons at the end. Now, if we load up our browser and refresh this, this should say homepage at the top. And I messed up there. What did I do wrong? Let me just open this back up. Add section. Oh, wait, it's not end. It is stop. End is for functions inside Blade that we will get in later. So stop. Now this should work now. Oh, home page. Did I say any? Oh, besides recording. Did I say something here? No, I didn't. Let me just add a section. Content. New. And stop that. And say home page. Now this should show up here. Great. Now if I go to /user/create, that object was not found for some reason, which is weird because that is definitely how I grouped that. I probably did something wrong, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so I found there. What you want to do is go to your, if that went wrong for you, you want to go to your exam control panel and click config on the Apache module, and you want to click Apache httpd.conf. Now you want to do a search, so Control F in Windows, and look for allow override none. Now change this none to all, like that. Save the file. That should be all of it. Now you can close out of that, stop the server, and start it again. And once you reload the page, this is from testing, you can see now it works. So /user create and /user login should return login page. Great. Now next time we are going to look into the post part of this and create the form. However, before I forget, I do want to do one more thing, which just came to my mind. And since we have this filter, let me go to the routes. We have the filter that they have to be guessed. However, these routes, I'm going to create 2 more routes, which are going to be inside here as well, and they are also going to be inside a group. So I'm going to do a route group array. I'll add the filters later. Function and a semicolon. Now these are going to be the post routes, so route and then post for the post, and then I'm going to use the exact same route. However, I'm going to do post create. So again with this one, copy that, and I'm going to do route posts that I can type, and then post login. Now these routes are going to handle database connection, etc. And because there are bad people in the internet, some people might want to try and post data to this URL that you do not want, because it will mess up your application or database or something. So what we are going to do is we're going to take one simple measure which will make it extremely more difficult, not impossible, but extremely more difficult to do that. And we are going to do a filter here again before, type again, before CSRF. This CSRF stands for cross-site request forgery. So it will basically maliciously want to request something or post something to your server, and this will also be handled in the next tutorial when we are going to add the forms and stuff. So yeah, you want this set up because this is going to get us all good and dandy. Let's add these 2 methods to the controller. While we're at it, public function post create and public function post login. So I hope this tutorial was helpful so far. I'm going to try, next tutorial will probably be a lot longer because I'm going to finish at least the register part of this, because I want to get that over with to get to the actual forum part of this tutorial. So I will see you guys then.